Updates here on the points we'll get into, and we'll delve into, as currently got 45 minutes of qualifying. That's just a hopefully a misprint, a typo. Well, as soon as everybody's qualified out there, we'll get this thing rolling. But 100 laps on tap here tonight, and we'll see if we get a change in the points afterwards as well. Carl Hamworth joined in the booth by Jimmy Cover. Jimmy, this is another trip back to Daytona, and this time for Virtual Velocity.
Yeah, it's Daytona week here at Sierra, and definitely a popular track. Obviously, it's something that's going to be coming up. Whether it's on iRacing for like a weekly race, or even in the beginning of the year. Obviously, when NASCAR gets back underway, they'll be back at Daytona. So, looking forward to getting back out there myself to run the 24-hour event at the beginning of the year, and obviously out here tonight to watch these drivers tackle on Daytona. 100 laps, Carl. A lot of things can happen in 100 laps, sitting on 60% fuel. So obviously we're looking at the probably 26 laps, I would think. So fuel mileage might be a thing. I don't know. We'll find out coming that first green flag pit stop. They do typically run green flag here with VVR, so I wouldn't be surprised to see a green from the start to finish, and looking to see who has the pit strategy to get this thing to the end.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get this thing complete, or if we get a cold short due to rain here, and see if we get this 100 laps in. But I'm sure we will. I mean, so many times we see VVR go green to checkered, so I would not be surprised if that's what happens here again tonight. But take a look at the points coming in. We got very tight at the top of the and really, I mean, tight all the way through the first 9 positions. John Garrett right now leads the points by 8 over Dalton Kilroe, and then he got Mike Casey 11 points back, Tyler Hilton 15 points back, Eric Blunt and Len McNeese both 19 points back, Michael Pratt 21 points back, Cade Green 22 points back, Tim Lee 31 back, and then to run out the top 10, Hemi Gherardini is 38 points back. So, I mean, within 40 points for the top 10 spots is pretty amazing. But it's a little bit different point structure here for this this season here, as the winner is going to get, trying to take a look here, looks like the winner gets 44 points. So, I mean, if you're not here, you miss a race, there could be a chance that it gets switched up here very quickly. But as it stands right now, we got John Garrett coming in here with 2 wins, as well as Dalton Kilroe with 2 wins, and that's helped them get to the top of the boards here for the season. The other winner here has been Mike Hasty. So the top 3 drivers in the points all have wins. We have a 4th different winner here tonight. Well, we have one of the top boys, John Garrett, Dalton Kilroe, grab a 3rd win. Maybe Mike Hasty ties them with 2 wins. We're going to see. We got 100 laps on tap, but we got our starting order here for tonight. It's not going to be 45 minutes to qualifying. We're already done. We're ready to go. Jimmy, why don't you give us a rundown?
Yeah, the 45-minute qualifying list timer that we had up there was beginning to scare me a little bit, Carl. I'll be a little bit honest there. But Todd Merkel will go ahead and grab the pole here tonight. And then number 2, John Garrett on the outside. Dalton Kilroe, Mike Casey making up row number 2. Row number 3, Mike Meyer with Eric Blount back there. And row number 3, row number 4, going to be James Yerger with Tyler Hilton. Row number 5, Sean Wilder with Hemi Gherardini. Michael Eden, Dustin Franklin make up row number 6. And EJ Luna back there on row number 7 with Cade Green. And bring up the back of the pack, Michael Pratt and Len McNeese with 8 rows, 16 cars, 100 laps at Daytona.
And just like any series, just like any time we come to Daytona, the big thing, patience, patience, patience. Doesn't matter how good the field is, if the field is new, old, veterans out there, it doesn't matter. You still need to exercise some patience. The first 80, 90 laps here of this race, you just got to get through it. You just got to survive, get to the end, get to the last 10 laps, even the last 5 laps here of the race is where it's really going to come down to. So you got to figure out, whether it's fuel strategy that gets you there, whether it's just kind of pacing around in the back, trying to keep yourself out of trouble. Can you go 3 wide here? Yes. Can you even sneak 4 wide here? Yes. Should you? No, not in the beginning of the race here, at least.
Well, I
will
might
they?
mix things up here.
Possibly.
I mean, it's possible. It's VVR. I mean, they've done some crazy things and had some great races. I invite them to go 3 wide here tonight to see how it goes. See if they can run 3 wide, 4 wide. I think's pushing it. It's a tight fit here at Daytona for 4 wide. Can you do it? Like you said, yes. I mean, you can do anything once, right? But I think sticking 2 wide, 3 wide at max here at Daytona is probably the proper way to go. And then we'll see how much of a veteran some of these drivers are, being able to hold their line. And we've seen some bobbling around last night at Daytona, as the drivers were getting into the corners. Can these maybe a little more seasoned drivers, keep these cars under control here tonight? But looking to get things started, coming out of turn number 4. Pace car should be coming in at any moment.
Yeah, we're set for 100 laps here at Daytona. We got a few new faces out there in the field as well, and hopefully they enjoyed themselves enough to get ready for 2026. And we'll see how this thing plays out. But it is John Garrett, Todd Merkel on that front row, and we are green here at Daytona.
Yeah, way to go. Nice, solid start by the field. Obviously, it's not one of those tracks where you need to like jump, just to kind of get the car rolling, those spinning tires. We don't need no wrecks, and then just kind of work your way around the track. Obviously, some drivers get maybe a little better start, just finding that spot maybe they like. Seen the 73 take a dive down there. That was Dustin Franklin moving into the 9th place, but maybe just likes the bottom. I know when I'm around here at Daytona, especially for 100 laps, I'm gonna sit on that yellow line probably for 90 of them laps, unless I'm trying to make a move or catch up to somebody. But settle in. I mean, this is a long one. If you're trying to save fuel, you might not want to be out front the whole time. That's the only thing I could probably recommend. Leading's fun, but using the most fuel is not.
Now, and I totally get that. In a league like this, where there's a lot of good quality drivers, I may tend to agree with you. Going down there on the bottom and just kind of hooking around the yellow line down there. I get a little scared, depending on who's out there in the field. If it's not an experienced group out there running the super speedway races, because if you're down there on that yellow line, all of a sudden somebody 2, 3, 4 cars in front of you gets onto that apron, it's bad news, and there's nowhere for you to go, because you're not going to be able to get down there in the apron and avoid it. You won't be able to go up if there's a car out there in front of you. I mean, a car on the outside of you. You're kind of stuck on your options, which is why I typically like to run the middle line, that second line up there. You see where Dalton Kilroy is right now. You have some maneuverability. You can go from the middle line up to the top line. Avoid it a little bit that way. You can drop to the middle and drop back if you see something that's going on that you don't like. You at least have some options, at least early on in the race. It's, as Jimmy said, it is technically the longer way around, and you may burn some more fuel, but certainly it's better burning fuel than burning off those quarter panels if you can avoid it. But not here tonight. These drivers, I think for the most part, all these drivers know what they're doing. They've been to plenty of super speedway racing here, and hopefully we'll get them to put on a good show for us here tonight.
Yeah, I'm just going to go back in the pack a little bit. We'll go back with Dustin Franklin. And, if you were with us here last night, obviously seen a lot of kind of bobbing and weaving going down in the corners. And you can already see here tonight how steady these cars seem to be. And they actually have less downforce than the next-gen cars. But the drivers are just able to keep they're predicting the car's movement. And you can see Franklin getting a run here on the 77 there of Michael Pratt. Just kind of letting up and letting the field go. A little bit of 3 wide action going on, but everybody's holding their line. Nice, smooth driving so far by all the drivers.
Yeah, so far so good. It's just getting through the beginning of this race, kind of feeling it out, but you can't just settle in, because this is your time to kind of maybe experiment a little bit here and there to figure out who you're good with. We said it before. Some drivers out here, you're better off pushing. Some drivers out here, you're better off being the pusher, and trying to find out who works best with you. Sometimes, even though the cars are pretty much built the same, sometimes the Fords and the Chevys don't exactly match up well together when it comes to the bump drafting, and this is the time to take a look at that and see what can happen, and maybe see how quickly you can get that second line moving, and how many positions you can pick off, how long it takes you to move from the back to the front, because that's going to determine if you're making your run to the front with 2 laps to go, with 3 laps to go. If you're at the back of the pack, you need to start making it with 5 laps to go. This is your time to just experiment a little bit. Nothing crazy. No, don't need to side draft. Don't need to go 3 wide and get crazy with it. But just experiment with how much the drafting can work for you.
Yeah, I mean, we're on lap 6 of 100. I'm settling in. You can test all you want, but I'm gonna wait till about lap 50 before I start testing. There's just way too many laps here at Daytona, and anything can happen. The last thing I need to do is have a caution and use my one and only fast repair this early in the race. So I'm gonna settle in, and I'm gonna hug the yellow line. I'm gonna just fall in line. Somebody wants to go around, I'll even give them the spot in front of me here this early on, just as long as I'm still in that draft. And you've seen Dalton Kilrow move all the way back. He's down 13 spots, sitting in P13 at the tail end of the lap, tail end of the pack. And it's just so I think he can observe everybody in front of him, kind of see how everybody's driving, how aggressive they are. Now he does have to deal with I see Eric Blount back there kind of blinking a little bit, but Eric Blount going to the outside. I think Dalton Kilrow is just going to tuck up behind the number 84 of Len McNeese and kind of hang out back there. I think that's where he wants to be right at the moment, because we are only on lap 7 of 100, and there's probably going to be 2-3 pit stops here tonight at least.
Yeah, it's certainly they run a little bit more fuel here in this series, and trying to see if we get the rules here. They are at 60% fuel. Technically for iRacing, they're at 60.00004%. So I mean that 100,000th% of fuel, whatever it figures out to.
A little bit of bobble. A little bit of bobble. Here we go.
Oh. And we will have our first caution. Looks like we're getting a few cars involved in this one. Seeing the 8 involved there, the 17, the 73. Just to name a few. Not sure if the 24 got a piece there or not at the end. Looks like he may have.
Yeah, 3
so we'll take a look
wide
back
there.
and see what started this one.
Yeah, 3 wide, 8 was on the outside. The 73 was getting a push button on the 24. 24 comes down, tags the 17 right in front of the 72, getting a little bit of the action. The 6 happened to slow up. Does miss the 73. 17's in the wall. It does look like that's pretty much it. The 84 had a check up pretty good, and Dalton Kilrow, but I think everybody was kind of safe there, but we'll see some early pit stops here for sure, Carl. That's going to mix things up, and that's a rare caution here for VVR, but we're going to find one here early tonight at lap number 8.
Now, dare I say, I mean, we've been out there for 8 laps. I mean, we seen what happened last night. Maybe the idea here is don't pit. It makes 0 sense, but we had 3 guys go completely off of script and find their way at the front of the field last night. Unfortunately for all 3 of them, I don't think any of them ended up on the podium at the end of the night. But the idea here is for everyone, whether you're involved in this incident or not, you come in here. You come in for fuel. You don't need tires. If you want to take tires, sure, you can go ahead and take tires, but keep in mind only 2 sets of tires in the pits for the entire race. So, only 8 laps on there. I would tend to think this is just going to be fuel only, but there's nothing that you're really losing by coming into the pits at this point. You're out there with only 15 other drivers. So worst case scenario, if you happen to be the only one that comes into the pits, okay, you're back out there in 16th. You're still on row number 8 for the restart. So there's really nothing to lose here. Just come in here, take fuel, and heck, if you have some teammates in there that want to come in again on the next lap by, Sure, come in and top off again. I myself, I like to be packed with as much fuel as possible at all times at Daytona. That way, I have some options. If we want, if me and other teammates or other drivers that I'm working with want to run an extra lap, we can, because we came back in there and took a little bit extra fuel. So we'll see if anyone decides to come in for a second time, but looks like everybody in for the first time here. Except for, looks like Michael Eden. I'm not seeing that he came into the pits here, showing him as third place right now, which either that kind of makes sense. So not sure what's going on there, but it looks like John Garrett, Michael Meyer are gonna run out there first, and they'll be on the front row. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, Jimmy. But either way, we got a few drivers there in the pits getting some of the repairs done as well. And it brings me to the other point, that they have 2 fast repairs here tonight. I would think for the little bit of damage that some of these cars had, you maybe don't need the fast repair. You hate using it this early on in the race and blowing one of them. I know you still have one more in the bank.
Who says Blot was in on lap 10?
That's pretty good. Unless, yeah. But he's in the back of the pack.
But he's in the back of the pack.
Are we live? I'm looking at iRacing. Like, what's going on here?
No,
are we restarted already?
No, if I wasn't live, I wouldn't have the tower.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
All right, iRacing. SDK. Do we need an update? I mean, we are closing in on week 13, are we not?
I mean, is there a full moon or something like that? Because we had 45 minutes of qualifying. We got drivers pitting on a lap that we haven't reached yet. There we go. At least something that makes sense to me coming here a second time.
We're only on week 9. We're only on week 9 of 13, by the way. So we still got 4 weeks left of the season in iRacing.
I don't know. I don't know. Speaking of racing, we as a side note here, we as a team need to figure out what's going on for us for this weekend here in the Suzuka.
Oh, this weekend? Friday not good, probably for me. Work's hounding me, and that'll have to. I haven't really. Yeah, tomorrow's. I haven't seen the schedules for tomorrow, so take me off. I don't know. I haven't seen nothing.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything myself either. But either way, we are
YOLO.
a tenth of the way through this race, and we still got 90 laps to go. John Garrett, Tyler Hilton, Cade Green, Mike Hasty, and James Yerger for your top 5. Then Dalton Kilroe, Hemi Giardini, Dustin Franklin, Mike Meyer, and Eric Blunt for your top 10. And now we got plenty of drivers that pit on lap number 10. Eric Blunt looks like he's shuffling back. Maybe he's pitting on lap 11, Jimmy, somehow. I don't know. Something is happening here with Eric Blunt. Jumping all over the place, and there we go. Now it looks like he's back on the track. Hopefully connection issues fix themselves, but it looks like he's falling back to the back. It looks like there's certainly some issues here for the 6, but pace car lights are out. We're gonna get this thing back fired off.
Yeah, no idea what was going on with that one, but we're gonna get back under green here. We are too wide in the middle of turns 3 coming out of 4 here, about to go down that tri-oval down to the start finish line, which is right in the middle. Not like Talladega where it's almost down in turn number 1. We're going to get things back underway here on lap number 11. At the start, lap number 12 of 100. John Garrett will be out front over Tyler Hilton, Cade Green, Mike Casey, James Yerger with Dalton Kilroe, Hemi Giardini, Dustin Franklin, Mike Meyer, and Todd Merkel for your top 10.
Green flag is back out, and it is John Garrett trying to lead him out there in the lead. You got Cade Green right behind him. Looks like nobody is friends with Tyler Hilton here on this restart. He is out there on an island, all there by himself. Everyone out there single file behind, and see if Tyler Hilton can slide his way down there at some point, or if maybe somebody decides to get up there and help him out a little bit. But
Tyler takes the old spice off his car.
Yeah, it's something is, maybe he stinks because of it, literally. But either way, looks like he does have maybe one friend as the newcomer, Mike Meyer, coming up there to try and help out the 0-2. Now, this is one thing they can't do that we've seen last night in the next gens you can't bump in the corners with these Xfinity cars, and even bumping on the straightaways, it can get sketchy. You need to make sure it's a square bump, middle to middle, or it's going to lead to some issues here. The next gens, they're a lot more planted. As Jimmy said, these Xfinity cars got a little bit more freeness to them. They're kind of sitting up on the tires a little bit more than the next gens are, so you have to be really careful of what you're doing with them and around the other competitors. Even, side drafting gone wrong, especially in the corners, can change the airflow and get these cars upset. But it looks like, briefly at least, new leader out front, Tyler Hilton, trying to get to the lead, but that inside line gets a good run again, and John Garrett going to lead him off at turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, but Tyler, let's call spade a spade here. Tyler Hilton's staying out there far enough, not even thinking about the side draft, and John Garrett not coming up to grab the side draft either to get an even better run on that inside. So giving space here early. The drivers are holding pretty solid lines. They're, poking out just a little bit, especially if they're right behind one another, to get that airflow across the front, get the engine cooled down, make sure you don't blow it. The last thing you need is a blown engine here in the middle of a super speedway race. But yeah, everything's looking good so far. I mean, I think just early on, just a small mistake ended up in an incident, but it's rare here at VVR, but mixes things up just a little bit. It's going to throw people's strategy off just a little bit. Not quite I don't know where they were sitting as far as fuel goes. But does this make it, where they don't have to really save very much? They're still going to have to stop just the same amount of times. Maybe this was that short fuel stop that they needed to kind of make it not so much a fuel strategy run, just more of a pit strategy run as far as how many tires you're coming down with. Can you bingo that entry? We've seen it last night. A lot of drivers, getting that black flag coming down over the pits. Has VVR done their homework? Can they make that pit stop without coming in too fast? It is different, being out there hitting almost 200 miles an hour in these cars as they work their way around here for 2.5 miles.
Listen to me. I mean, they got that 4 millionth percent extra fuel here in the cars tonight, so they're back to 60.0004. So they're good. They may be good to go to the end. I mean, with that extra 4 millionth in there. I mean, I could take you quite a ways here, but either way, Tyler Hilton got to the lead and then left his early compatriots out there, and now maybe he heard me driving back up to the top of the track now. He did drop down in front of John Garrett for a little spell, but now back up in front of Meyer on the outside. But just looks like 4 cars in line on the outside. The rest of them just nice and tidy on the inside. Maybe a few of them looking to see kind of what their options are early on in the race, but it is early. Already looking at the time, though, Jimmy, and I'm just constantly keeping my eye on that time. I know once we're up here, green flag racing, these cars are ripping around here under 50 seconds. 48-second lap times around here is cooking around Daytona, but again, the session's set up here for 80 minutes. So you break that down into quarters. We need to get 25 laps done in 20 minutes. And right now, getting tantalizingly close to 60 minutes left in this race, and we're not at lap 25 just yet. So scheduled for 100 laps, but we need to make sure this thing goes green for a little bit here, especially in the middle part of this race, to ensure that we're going to get that full 100 in.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously you said tantalizing close here. The first 20 minutes are about gone. It's like you said, it's 50 seconds, 48 seconds a lap here, and I have some faith in these drivers here to knock this thing out and run these green flag laps. It's all about balance here, and I think eventually you'll see them start poking around here just a little bit, kind of trying to find their way and getting out there in the car and find out where they want to be, but pretty much single file for the most part. Few stragglers out there on the outside, just kind of mixing things up, maybe just testing things. Maybe they're not quite near their partner, seeing if they can hang out there. There's only 2 cars out there right now, and quite honestly, doing a pretty decent job of just hanging on. The 8 car that you seen earlier, Michael Eden, that was involved in the incident, back up towards the front. So one of their drivers maybe just likes being up front. So we're going to drive it up there behind, try to get up behind the 9 and try to keep things working. But again, no super rush here to keep things going. Do have the 73 down off the apron.
Yeah, he's able to get it back up on the track. Not sure what that was all about, if that was planned to get down there or not, but they give him plenty of room to get back up on the track. It breaks up the pack here a little bit, but still well within drafting range, and that 1 second buffer is really what you're looking at. You need to be within, or not 1 second, a tenth of a second. No, wait. I'm losing my track here. Yeah, no, yeah. 1 second is where you need to be within to get that draft. This millionth of a percentage. I keep glancing at it. It's just throwing me off. All kinds of stuff here, but yeah. Ultimately, I think it was an unintended mistake, clearly, by I'm not sure if it was Tim Lee here that set up the session or not, but I'm assuming that the extra 40 minutes that we had in practice, or in qualifying, was meant for the race and have a 2-hour maximum race with the 100 laps. But again, because that's not the case, I'm going to keep bringing it up because we are tight on schedule. As of right now, we have 1 hour left in the session, and we are on lap 20 right now, so we're not at the quarter way mark. If we go green the rest of the way, still should be able to get that 100 laps in, but it's tight at the quarter time mark here.
It's going to be close. We'll just put it that way. Obviously, you start thinking about it, you gain, a lap let's see. So every, 6 laps? 7 laps for every,
A lot of math. It's a lot of math.
It's a lot of math. We're doing mathing, but, you can just kind of see here, obviously, we're down, 20 minutes in now, and, that extra hour is gonna climb quickly, and we're gonna, obviously we're under a minute for a lap, but it's 48 seconds. We're gaining 12 seconds a lap, so for every 5 laps, for every 6 laps, we get 5 minutes. So 6 laps every 5 minutes. Yeah.
Well, shout out to Mike Meyer and the 9, the new driver out here. Not sure if we've ever had a driver from Iceland before. That is the flag that is represented there for Mike Meyer. Whether it's actually right or not, I mean, I think per iRacing, it's usually where you are. So
you can change it now too.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Disappointing.
I mean, I would say that he's probably from Iceland. I mean, why not, right? But I don't think you're wrong. Mike Meyer is there from Iceland, carrying that 9 car up towards the front, and very well may be where they're from. So don't know until we get a chance to talk to him, and if he stays up here, we might be in a treat to have somebody new up here. Right now, Tyler Hilton out front, up 7 spots. Because before the race, it was Cade Green up 8 spots, just fell back from 5th. But you see how close the top 9 are running as they're side by side here early on, and just really not too concerned with them being side by side. They're definitely able to drive side by side and keep things going here.
Yeah, with plenty of room. They're giving each other plenty of room here on the straightaways. It's almost 3 wide on the front stretch. But if Meyer gets to the front, it won't be because of Tyler Hilton. It seems like Tyler is using and abusing Meyer right now. He uses him to get up to the front, and then as soon as he gets a chance, he gets down there and gets in front of Garrett, and then kind of leaves the 9 out there to dry. But the other 2, Todd Merkel, is helping the 9 out, moving him up the racetrack there and trying to get him to the front of the pack. But yeah, it looks like Tyler Hilton just kind of throwing shade here at the new guy. Just thanks for the help. Now figure it out yourself.
I mean, he's got a few cars on the outside, though, in a good position. They can get that outside to work, get up front, and next thing you know, he'll be dropping in front of the O2. The only way that you can stop the momentum from the outside is to, get through the corner, and then you drift up and you take that that momentum away from the outside coming off the corner, and then they'd be able to push you back out front, and then you drop back down to the inside, and it's just rinse and repeat. And that's kind of what happens. You can see right now, the outside got the run. Now they're alongside, going down the backstretch. If the O2 would have went up there, it would have took that momentum away, kept them back behind. Would have got him a push, and he could have fell right back down to the bottom, coming into turn number 3. So I mean, that's kind of how it works here on these super speedways. They just take turns, but when they're side by side and plenty of laps to race, as we still have 75 laps here remaining as we cross the line to finish lap number 25 of 100. But yeah, it's going to be extremely close. Just doing some simple math, Carl. We might end up being about, I'm going to say, about 10 laps shy.
I think we were 5 laps short at the quarter time mark. If we're able to run green,
we have to go green
all the way until the halfway. It's I don't know. It's going to be close. As of right now, I think if they go green, they could possibly get it in. But I mean, they can't be.
They need to be halfway by 40 minutes.
By 40 minutes left, yeah, exactly. And right now that's 15 minutes from now. So you figure that's about 15, 16, maybe
15.
18 laps. Maybe 18 laps from right now, and that would only put them at 45. They're kind of still on pace to be, like 5 laps short at the halfway point. So we'll see how it all plays out, and that's not even factoring in, the slow lap or two for the in and out of the pit stops. We'll see how that plays out. One thing I'm seeing. Go ahead, Jimmy.
No, I mean, you're right. I mean, you gotta watch them pit stops. And it's gonna be important here, and the drivers are, obviously. They're obviously worried about laps right now, and maybe they don't understand the time at the moment. Unless they're listening out there, there's 6 people watching, so could be a good possibility. A few of them drivers are maybe now aware that they might be short on time, so might be looking at a time remaining vice distance, and make sure that they have enough fuel to get to the end of the time. Vice, it could be a pit stop or staying out, and we're gonna find out here. It's gonna be an interesting finish here for sure, as we bring this thing down to the end. So we're at 26 minutes, 28 laps in. Mike Meyer is your leader.
I mean, just doing some simple math on the back end here. They need to be at the halfway point with 40 minutes to go, and that's by running green flag laps. So I'm pretty sure. Well, either way, we're stuck where we're at. But what I was going to say earlier is one thing I'm seeing that the drivers are being smart about is I'm not seeing that much bump drafting out here. And why is that good right now? Because overheating. And I know we briefly touched on it, but we have seen that happen before, and especially with these Xfinity cars. If you're doing a lot of bump drafting, you're doing a lot of driving real close, not getting any air to the engine in the front, the car will overheat. You will get the high water temperatures and oil pressures. So you need to be smart about it. But it looks like just about everybody throughout the field, other than towards the front, John Garrett getting a little close there to Tyler Hilton, but backs off in the middle of the corner. But about the new leader, Meyer does it and gets down in front of the O2. So now he's going to let the 2 of Todd Merkel technically out there to dry, but that's fine. He's got the help there from Dustin Franklin, pushes him as our new leader now. The 2 takes the lap lead there. We'll see if he stays out there or if he's going to drop down now. It just seems like it's the MO from all these drivers. Thanks for getting me the lead. Now you guys on the outside line figure it out yourself.
I mean, as long as he stays down there and he's not coming back up to take that momentum away, it'll just be the 73's turn to kind of cycle down through as well, and they can keep that thing going for quite some time. But we're on lap 30 of 100, Carl. I think we're going to go ahead and hit a little love to hear here early, as we'll have some opportunities to listen to these cars roar and get around here tonight.
Let's do it. Sights and sounds here of the Virtual Velocity Racing Fall Xfinity Series under the lights here at Daytona, and seeing something that you don't really see too often. Not just green flag pit stops, but half the field coming in on lap number 35, the other half of the field coming in on lap number 36. But the ones that didn't have issues in pit lane getting to their box, didn't have issues getting a black flag, they all come out together. And you see them right here as we're back to a nice, it looks like a 9-car field here at the front, with Sean Wilder trying to hang on in the back right there in the 91, but and being pulled there or pushed by Michael Pratt as they're both trying to get back to the front pack here. But as it stands, that's not the thoughts that are on our, or the ideas that are on our mind here, as it looks like the 91 and 77 will catch back up. So good job working in tandem to catch back up here, but it's the time issue. And I know we brought it up several times. We're going to keep bringing it up because, just doing some quick math and trying to figure out what they need to get it done here. And basically wherever they're at the halfway point, if it were to stay green, that's how many laps they're going to be short for the rest of the race. So if they're 10 laps short, they're going to be 10 laps short at the end. And right now, we got about 3.5 minutes until we're at the halfway point time-wise. We're just starting lap number 40 here on the racetrack. So we'll see how it's going to play out. But we got some of the same faces back up here at the front. John Garrett leading the way on the inside. Tyler Hilton leading the way on the outside. I want to thank everyone out there in Sierra Nation for tuning in. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that we got to offer here, as we got the doubleheader here on Thursday night with Virtual Velocity Racing right now, and then the Core GT Series going to be starting up here at about 9:30 for their 1-hour race as well. So we'll see what they got. They're coming towards kind of about the same part of their season as well. They have got lose my track of my date here. Yeah, so they're halfway through the season. They got the second half of the season starting tonight at Sebring. And man, Jimmy, I know we're here at Daytona, Sebring here in Florida as well, but Sebring put on a heck of a race for us in the NCSRL for that season finale last week. Hopefully, you can do the same for the Core GT Series tonight.
Yeah, it's obviously just Oh no! There's a caution. This could be a caution.
Oh, 277, and that is going to be another caution as we get closer again. But it will bring us under another caution here. Still not at the halfway point, but I think it's pretty obvious we're not going to get the full length here tonight. And you're not sure what happened there, though. Two looked like got a little bit loose when they were kind of 3 wide out, maybe in the wall. Looked like it got stuck to the wall a little bit. Now, as soon as it pulled off of the wall, it just kind of snapped down right into the side of the 77.
Yeah, coming down. Obviously, 2 getting shot up. Ended up getting a meatball from that. So he'll have to bring it in and get the fast repair for here early. But Pratt probably would have been able to hold on to it, but he hit that apron down there, and with that big angle of degree for the banking, sends that 77 around here on lap 41. So these drivers are going to be I think at a point now they'll be able to catch up, even with the black, like anybody that was behind. I think Merkel will benefit from this because he's the only one a lap down. So everybody should get back on a lead lap, so that's a good thing. And Tyler Hilton will be able to get that meatball taken care of as well. The car is rolling, so that's a good thing. Probably just banged up quite a bit. We'll go down and take a look around that car, kind of see what it looks like. You can see got some damage on the back end, and if we look at the front, you can see heavy right front damage and some even left front damage on the O2. So he's going to come down and get that car fixed and ready to race here for the remainder of the race. Well, on lap 42, we've got we're coming up on that halfway mark here as far as time goes, and we're on lap 43, Carl. So we are going to end up being a few laps short. Obviously, if they were green, they probably would have made it to lap 45 or so, but Tyler Hilton missing this pit box. But not too bad here under green, missing a pit box. I probably had some problems with the brakes and everything, but getting some fresh tires, fast repair, top it off the fuel, get back out there. Plenty of time if you're in the back of the pack to catch up. So, but right now the 8 is out front, leading this thing as he decided to stay out here at Daytona.
You'll see how it plays out, especially on these restarts. We've seen what can happen with the next gen restart, with some of the drivers when they stayed out last night. But and they have kind of extra downforce. So hopefully it's not the same case here with these Xfinity cars with Eden staying out there. But again, I question the strategy as I did last night. You've been out there now for 7 laps since the pit stop. What are you losing by coming in? You're not gaining really anything other than track position for the time being, but you get shuffled up out of your position one time, and that track position is going to be going anywhere. You're going to slide back towards the back. So it's still plenty early here. If lap 50 was the end of the race, then maybe I could see staying out here and deciding to take the track position. But yeah, not the case here. So we'll see how it plays out for Eden. I mean, I was plenty wrong yesterday. I'm sure I'll be wrong at some point here tonight again, as it happens. But certainly this helped out the 6 of Eric Blunt as well, as he was out there running pretty much by himself after having some issues blinking. Still having some of those issues right now as well, but he's at least going to get back to the pack here, and we'll have 15 cars on the lead lap. Todd Merkel looks like he is on the lead lap, just needs to catch back up to the field as he's on the backstretch. I have all by himself right here, but he will catch back up to the field as we're gonna hit the 1 to go. We'll get it back going green here in a second. I will say that we're past the halfway point, and I'm not talking laps, because we are 38 minutes from the end of this race, and that won't be at lap 100 right now. It is going to be a rain-shortened race here. There's rain in the forecast, wink, wink, rain, that will end up ending this race early on here tonight. So we'll see how many laps we do get in. But either way, out front, it is going to be John Garrett leading them back to the green here. Once again, that 66 points leader here tonight. And you're actually going to be starting second here with Len McNeese getting the fire off first. But that 66 trying to keep that thing up front this entire race here tonight. And we've talked about it many times before, Jimmy. There's ways to tackle Daytona here. You can run in the front, you can drop to the back, you can be a psycho and run it in the middle of the pack. But here it looks like the 66 is choosing to stay out front as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, just been doing a pretty good job. I think just comfortable up there around the drivers that he's been running around, and the front's been doing a pretty good job, and keeping things pretty clean up front, giving each other space at this point of the race. It's going to come down to time here tonight, as it will expire. So it's something that it's kind of hard to keep track of in the car as far as time. Hopefully they got some external overlay to let them know what's going on. Maybe the few that are out there, they got 5 people watching. So anybody out there, I mean, maybe they're sharing and maybe they're not, maybe that's part of their strategy. Just most people just ignore the time, but they're not going to make it. Unfortunately, the rain is coming, and there will be a red flag for the end of this. And, but we still have a good 36 and a half minutes here still remaining. So it's still, obviously quite a few laps here to kind of knock out and get things going. But still a fun time out there. I mean, the drivers have been doing pretty good, obviously trying to see how these cars handle bump draft, and can they get their run. It's going to be about timing here tonight, not so much as far as laps. Like we said, it's going to be watching that clock and then who can get to the front and be there when they need to be there. Dalton Kilroy was since maybe he's listening, maybe he's not, but kind of went from sitting in the back to maybe now poking around towards the front of this pack. Currently sitting in P03 on the bottom there, right in front of Michael Pratt, which was involved with that incident earlier. But back out there, up in the the front of the pack, trying to get a win, maybe get a podium. It's been a while since we've talked to Michael Pratt, as we've seen him in was it last season? Came from the back to the front to be on the podium, at least once, just to get up here and talk to us, and just kind of our resident tail end starter here, trying to work their way through the field. And I guess it's that's one way, Carl, to kind of start to kind of hone your racecraft, just to race around others, to make passes. And it could be just fun if you don't have the speed to win every week and to be up there. Maybe just kind of honing your craft and learning from all the other drivers and what works, what doesn't, and maybe just out here just chilling on a Thursday night here and to kind of make things go by. But doing a good job here right now, being pretty consistent in the back. We have seen him get wrapped up in incidents not of his own, and that's being back in that battlefield that I talk about. I mean, the whole field is a battlefield here tonight at Daytona. That's plate racing for you. Everybody's kind of grouped together, but the middle of the pack is obviously the less forgiving zone of any race.
I think there may be one way that we can have somebody get the win here tonight. I forget which race it was, if it was CSRL or pit road speed limit, where we had a car with a max speed of 447 miles an hour on my SK. Maybe if we shift into that ludicrous speed, that we can get up there and get this thing done yet. But as it stands right now, Len McNeese is leading the way. James Yerger in second. Dalton Kilroe, Michael Pratt, John Garrett, Dustin Franklin, Sean Wilder, Mike Hasty, Hammy Gherardini, and Mike Meyer for your top 10. Cade Green, Todd Merkel, Tyler Hilton, Eric Blunt, EJ Luna, and Michael Eden are your 16 car drivers in the field, all 16 on the lead lap. We've had 2 cautions here in the first half of the race. Certainly the story is the rain and the forecast that will undoubtedly end this night early. We'll see who is on top at the right time, and really kind of keeping an eye on what we do here for fuel strategy as well. We haven't had, we did have one round of green flag pit stops to get an idea, but trying to figure it out how it's going to happen in the second half of this race. And I kind of wonder how you play that out, because this thing went from a race that was, figuring out that you're going to run 100 laps to now it's almost more on the endurance side. You're trying to figure out how many laps you're actually going to have left based on the time. And, in endurance racing, all depends on when you cross that line. If you're going to have 2 laps left, if that's the time the white flag is going to come out, and that could be a big difference in deciding how many laps of fuel that you want to take at the end.
Yeah, it's going to be even a hard one for us to track here. Just going to kind of keep closely as that time ticks down. I'll leave it up there on the screen for everybody to see. You can see there's 47 now, turnover 48 minutes have gone by of the 120 minutes, and we're now at the halfway mark. So you can see how far behind they are. Still 50 laps remaining, and maybe some drivers unaware of the time constraints, or the incoming rain, as we'll call it here tonight at Daytona.
Yes.
Underneath the stars. It's dark out, so I can't see the clouds rolling in. What kind of crew chief do you got that's going to let you know that you're about to run out of time? So, yeah, it's a close one, and probably something, we took notice of it early at the start of the race, and kind of question the amount of laps and time to do that. And obviously things happen. You set up iRacing one way, Carl, and sometimes it does another. I mean, you can attest to that in many cases. In many cases, okay.
Never.
There's been times where everybody's been in a session and heck, qualifying's already done, and we've had to start another session because something was jacked up, and it's just because iRacing sometimes does what it wants to do. You think you got it set up right, you think it's going to be the way it needs to be, and human errors or iRacing errors, whatever it may be, changes your mind. It's just another obstacle here. It's no different than your computer going down, or like we said, rain incoming for a race. Typically, everybody gets to run out here, green flags, but still going to put in a lot of laps here. I mean, already at lap 52. Last night was 55 laps here at at Daytona. So these drivers are already going to surpass that by a good amount. And, it's, they're more of a, I guess I want to say more of a veteran driver. And the majority of them have been on the service for quite some time. And you can tell by their driving, you can tell by the races each and every week how close they race, where they give each other space. There's very few caution flags. It's just each and every single week, we get out here to kind of see these drivers have a good time. And, sometimes you don't like watching these long super speedway races because they're just nobody can drive away from each other. And it's all about, can you stay in the draft and can you stay out of trouble for the most part, and until you get to a point where it matters, and that's your pit stops. And we've seen those pit stops kind of fall by the wayside, and we've seen people catch black flags. We've seen people, diving back there. I think that's Tyler Hilton.
Yeah, it looked like Tyler Hilton was trying to get up there and pick up the sixth there of Eric Blunt, but because he was blinking out a little bit, he dives back into line. If there's a silver lining in anything here tonight, Jimmy, it's that, the average lap time right now is right around 48.5 seconds. Well, if you multiply that by 100, it shows that even if we didn't have a single caution here tonight, we still wouldn't have got the 100 laps in. So the cautions technically didn't mean anything other than it's going to be even shorter. But with the lap times that they're putting in here, they would have needed roughly about 81 minutes of time here to complete the race, and only obviously starting with 80 minutes. So I guess that's the silver lining. Either way, it was going to be a rain-shortened race. I know there's, the skies are clear right now. I know the stars are out, but Jimmy, you're a Floridian. You know the weather can change just snap of a finger.
Oh yeah, more times than not. Especially down there near Daytona on the peninsula, and it's not very that part of the state's not very wide. Storm come off the Gulf and to go into the Atlantic or vice versa. It comes and goes. 10-15 minutes just waiting, the weather will change. So you can have a thunderstorm roll through and it's gone. So you just kind of go with it when it comes to a rain, and you just look in the forecast to see if anything's maybe moving your way, and that way there's going to be, you might want to take your umbrella and stick it in your car with you when you go out. But yeah, it's definitely a place where weather can change in an instant and be gone because it doesn't stick around very long. But right now, these drivers aren't going anywhere either, so they're right around each other, nose to tail, side by side. Front to back, everybody is on the lead lap and sticking together here. So anybody has the opportunity to win. It's just who's going to be in the right spot at the right time. Still have 27 minutes remaining here to kind of knock this thing out and to get as far as they can and be in that position to win. But I think, Carl, they are going to need a pit stop before the end of this.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They're going to be probably looking at a pit stop here in the next, probably the next few laps here, because we've been running for quite some time here. Should be looking at another pit stop here very soon, maybe around lap 60. We'll see these drivers coming back into the pits, and still trying to do the math and try to figure out roughly how many laps we're going to be looking at here tonight so we can get an idea. But it should be just a one-stop race from here, especially if it's around lap 60, because I don't think we'll be getting much more than 80 laps in here tonight. Maybe 85 at the max, so it could be maybe close there at the end, and maybe you'll see some fuel saving here. But the problem is with fuel saving, Jimmy, you're going to be lessening the laps as well. So it can be a real interesting strategy towards the end of this thing to try and figure out how to work the system, how to game the laps left in your favor. But right now, Len McNeese leads the way. Dalton Kilrow right behind him there in second. On the outside line, it's James Yerger and John Garrett. Now Michael Pratt coming up there to join them in the top 5. Then you got Dustin Franklin, Sean Wilder, Mike Meyer, Todd Merkel, and Mike Casey for your top 10. But what we're seeing right there, Jimmy, I don't know if they've maybe now just realized it, but I've just seen 6 drivers on the track run their fastest lap of the race. And a lot of drivers now, eclipsing and going into the 47-second range. So they have some untapped power. Can they go 447 like we were asking for earlier?
Yeah, we're looking about 30. Well, it's 30 laps for roughly 25 minutes. And so we just crossed that now. Where we got about 25 minutes remaining here, and it's all we're on lap. We just finished lap 58, so add about another 30 more laps. It should take us out to 89, 90 laps. So like you said, we'll be about 88 to 90 laps window kind of to make it to the end here, about 10 laps short. So yeah, it's all about kind of fighting that and figure out when you want to come in as a team. Obviously, who's going to come down? Are they going to run this thing out where they're out of fuel? Are some people going to stay down? We're going to see a couple groups come down again like before. And we have drivers on the outside this time. Not everybody's single file. So, it's the things they need to think about, possibly coming down. But right now, seeing double file, nobody's looking to come into the pits at the moment, especially anybody on that outside.
Mind Jimmy, they got that extra 0.04% of fuel, so they got some time yet. But yeah, I mean, really starting to see the wick turned up for some of these cars with EJ Luna running the fastest lap of the race, that last lap with a 47.35, and even Tyler Hilton with a 47.4. So maybe they've been out here just saving and already preparation for the end of this race being a little bit shorter and trying to make this thing on one more fuel stop, because we're seeing the 47-second lap times come in a little hot and heavy here lately. So they got some untapped potential in these Xfinity cars, but we still are going to need at least that one more pit stop to get this thing to get this thing done. I want to thank our sponsors here for the series, Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs, for everything that they do for Tim Lee and the Virtual Velocity Racing Series. Unfortunately, Tim not out here tonight, and we'll see if he catches any flack for this at the end of the day. Maybe it wasn't even him. Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was Tyler Hilton or Dalton Kilroy. Not sure who set up the sessions here, but either way, it's a simple mistake. It's, again, I feel like based on the fact that we had 45 minutes of qualifying, I'm guessing that at 40 minutes wasn't kind of pushed over to the race time, which should have been 2 hours long, and yeah, even with 2 hours, Jimmy, with a few cautions, you're even kind of getting close with that 100 laps out there. But as it stands right now, we're still out there racing. We're still trying to figure out who's going to win this thing. It looks like Michael Eden in the pits and with a black flag as well. So that's definitely going to hurt the chances here for the 8. And then the 6 of Eric Blunt also having all those blinking issues. He is behind the field right now, 16 seconds behind the 14th place driver right now, Cade Green, at the back of this pack. But again, I feel like we should be coming up on pit stops here in the next few laps. I'm surprised they've made it this far, but again, maybe they were saving a little bit in the beginning here, and we'll see when they decide to come in. But
they just lost 10 laps, so just like that, and been like, oh no, we ain't gonna make time. I mean, you're in the car and you're kind of setting things up for that 100 lap finale, and to kind of figure out that this thing's only gonna go to about lap number 90, so you're losing about 10 laps and maybe even a few more here. So right now they're working on just over 20 laps. So they do need to get, I think, a few more laps in before they think about coming in, Carl, to be honest. But it's getting close. So I think, it's got to be close soon here. And they're going to have to hit and make sure they got enough fuel, and hopefully it's enough to take them to the end of that timer. So right now, maybe just riding it out and try to extend these fuel tanks as far as possible. So right now, 22 laps in. Like I said, we're looking at that 90 range, so we're looking at about 26 laps or so right now remaining, and right now they're at 22, so it'll be 23 laps under green. So yeah, looking forward to seeing who does what. It's really going to be a gamble and a strategy call here at the end.
One thing that doesn't surprise me here, our top 2 in points of John Garrett and Dalton Kilrow. They have not led hardly at all in this second run, or third stint, whatever you want to consider the stint that they're in right now. They've had a car in front of them pretty much the entire time, and I 100% believe that is by design. They are trying to save any bit of extra fuel that they can, staying behind that car in front and trying to save and maybe go an extra lap or two if they can, or at least take less fuel when they come into the pits, have some more room for filling that thing up. But yeah, I'm not surprised that our two top drivers in the points have been out there using guinea pigs, but now it looks like Yerger is tired of being the guinea pig. He's going to move to the third line. Maybe that 39 is starting to run out of fuel and he's trying to work back towards the back of the pack so he can get into the pits. So this could be very interesting here. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide off the corner. He's not going to go into the pits, but he's going to find his way back in line. Some shuffling around here, back and forth. The driver's getting a little antsy here, the way it seems, coming across that line. So, wondering if the pit stops are going to be coming up here soon. But Jimmy, while we get a chance here, while they're green flag racing, while we get ready for that which should be the final pit stop of the race, why don't we go and step aside here again and give everyone out there a little chance for love to hear it.
A little more to hear it.
All right, so looks like we're going to be getting ready for the final pit stop of the race. Why don't we go and step aside here again and give everyone out there a little chance for love to hear it. Sights and sounds here again from the Virtual Velocity Racing Fall Xfinity Series, as we had what should be our last round of pit stops here, barring any kind of caution or anything wonky here at the end. Should be less than 20 laps to go at this point. We are 13 minutes to go is really what the time that you need to take a look at. It's not really laps anymore. It's keeping an eye on that time, trying to figure out how many laps are left from that. But it is Dustin Franklin leading the way. EJ Luna, John Garrett, Tyler Hilton, Michael Pratt for your top 5. James Yerger, Todd Merkel, Dalton Kilrow, Mike Meyer, and Mike Hasty for your top 10, and they're the ones that are in this tow right here. Hemi Giardini looks like he's a little bit too far back, 1.9 seconds back, is not in the draft, so he is going to be dropped off here unless he gets really, really lucky by something happening, and we could end up having a 10-car battle here to the end.
Yeah, it's still a lot of drivers looking for, and they are coming up on some drivers that had some problems in the pits, and they're going to end up picking them up. And are these drivers going to use them as a pick, or how are they going to move out of their way? How's this all going to play out? We're about to find out as they head down into turn number 1, led by Dustin Franklin. You can see him coming up on these 2 cars. Len McNeese and the 6 of Eric Blount's going to go to the outside. They just need to hold that line down to the inside, the yellow line. Plenty of room on the track here as he makes his way around, as they shuffle around back and forth, but they got the momentum. They'll make it by the now lapped cars of Len McNeese and Eric Blount. So it's just all about the kind of jockeying around. But now you're going to have some lap cars in the mix here, battling it to the end. These cars, weren't slow, and obviously now jam-packed in the draft call.
And they want to stay there because if a caution were to come out, they'll get the lucky dog and get back up there. But we're almost getting to the point where you can't afford a caution, because a caution may end up ending this race depending on when it comes out. And certainly keep an eye on that 6 as well. The 6 Eric Blount having some connection issues tonight, and really having some blinking issues. Tough to get pushed, tough to push that 6 here tonight. But he is second in line on the inside. Dustin Franklin is your leader on the outside. Those drivers on the inside, at least the first couple spots, are lap cars. They're not up there for position. They're battling for position themselves for 13th and 14th, and also to try and stay on the lead lap here. But this is going to get very interesting here, as we're coming up on 10 minutes left in this race. And we're definitely not going to get to 100. We'll see if we get to 90. We're starting lap number 76 at the moment. Want to thank our sponsors here one more time: Goldline Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, and Hilton Crafts and Designs. And thank everybody out there in CRN Nation tuning in here tonight for the VVR Fall Xfinity Series, as this will be an interesting one, and certainly one that we talked about, I'm sure, at the water cooler. But
Yellow.
Hold that thought. We've got a caution. Looks like this one was Hemi Giardini back in the back of the pack. We'll see what happened on this one. Gonna bring out a caution with less than 10 minutes to go. And wow, what happened on that? Man, I have to rewind it again. If that was a push, a really bad push gone wrong. Yeah, it looks like the 8 getting into the back of the 17 into the corner. And we said you cannot push in the corners here, and that was one that's going to send the 17 around. It looks like no damage really for either car on that one, as luckily for Giardini there was nobody else around at the time. Gets it back going. It's going to help Giardini, because he's going to be able to catch back here. So certainly wasn't intentional, I don't think, by any means. And looks like Eden actually is going to have a meatball flag because of it.
Oh boy.
But he's going to jump back to the pits. We're going to have a caution here. The field is good to go on fuel, so you don't want to come into the pits here. You want to keep your track position. Tires don't really matter, especially at this point. But we're at 9 minutes left, Jimmy. Time's ticking.
9 minutes left. Wilder's going to get his lap back. And we're going to have 15 cars on the lead lap crawl. It's definitely going to be, like I said, it was a blessing in disguise for some of the drivers like Hemi Giardini and those that were kind of out of touch or getting ready to go a lap down. You can see one car waiting to get the wave around there. That's the no, that's Franklin. I guess they already did. They already go around.
I thought Wilder would be the one getting the wave around, but you want to know, and all the drivers out there asking, why are lap cars racing the leaders this late in the race? This is why. Len McNeese, Eric Blunt were ahead of the leaders when that caution came out. They are now back on the lead lap, and they are back in the mix of this race. That's exactly why. Lap cars definitely. I mean, if you're multiple laps down, I understand. Maybe you shouldn't be up there, shouldn't be battling. But yeah, we do have a few coming in. Meyer comes into the pits from, I believe it was second or third place, and it looks like Kevin Garandini coming into the pits, maybe getting some damage repaired. Eric Blunt in the pits as well. But that was very big for McNeese and Blunt. Now we're going to double them up here. We're going to get this thing ready to go because it looks like the admins shortened the caution here, and now finally looks like Wilder's going to get his wave around, and he's going to have to hammer down. He's going to have to go all the way around the track and catch these guys here for the restart of this thing. But it looks like because of the time constraints here, the admins cutting this thing to 1 lap to go already for the restart of the race and try and get in as many laps as possible. So it's going to be Dustin Franklin, EJ Luna on the front row, Mike Casey, John Garrett, Todd Merkel for your top 5, Michael Pratt, Tyler Hilton, James Yerger, Dalton Kilrow, and Cade Green for your top 10.
Been an interesting race, Carl. Obviously, with the time constraint or incoming rain here tonight at Daytona, but we're gonna see a new winner here tonight. Franklin, Luna up front, Mike Hasty, John Garrett obviously still up there, Michael Pratt even in the top 5 at the moment. So, who's gonna walk away the winner here? Kilro's back in 9th place. I mean, definitely still within the range of taking the win here. We're down to just under 7 minutes, so we're getting closing in on that 6-minute range. Once we hit the 5, we're back under green when we go back to green, we'll have 6 minutes remaining, which means they will have roughly 7 more laps to go.
Yeah, not even, as we're just getting to the 6 minutes here, and the pace car is going to be pulling in this time by, looks like. Great job there by Wilder. He is going to catch the back of the field to get this green flag. It's going to be in control here by Dustin Franklin as we head back to the restart zone for what should be probably the last restart of the race regardless. And we're racing here at Daytona, and you got to feel like this is kind of about 5 laps to go here. You got to really be in position now and try and make your moves and be at the front, because the rain is coming. It is not too far away right now on the radar. It's going to end up hitting. It's going to end up ending this race, so you got to be at the front at that time when that final flag comes out. But it looks like the 73 sliding up to the top, maybe looking to get pushed by the 24 instead, but that's going to end up bringing out another caution, and almost a blow over there from the 24. Keeps it on 4 wheels, but quite a few cars getting caught up and still getting caught up at the end of this thing. This is the big one here at Dega, and I'm seeing some meatball flags as well. Looks like Dustin Franklin and Michael Pratt going to walk away with meatball flags, and now also Eric Blunt getting a meatball flag as well. They're going to have to bring it into the pits, as this is the big one here at the end. And it looks like Michael Pratt couldn't even see there. He had his hood up, but you see right there some bumping and bobbing and weaving, maybe even 4 wide racing, and calamity on the backstretch.
Yeah, it's just obviously, and now obviously we know the drivers are all aware of the situation at hand as far as time goes, and you're going to see the 66 maybe pushing the 24 just a little bit, and the 24 hitting the 73, getting off. That rear bumper down to 2 sends Pratt down to the inside. 24 still trying to collect it, bounce around between the cars. Cars trying to check up, cars trying to go. Just plenty of things going on. 24 on the brakes, 6 slides into the 24 and almost through the 39. Things that continue to happen there with around Len McNeese in the side of Dalton Kilrow. Michael Pratt still trying to hold on to things. Cade Green is still trying to collect his car. He slides all over the place. Dalton Kilrow chasing his car all the way down that infield. You see the 73 up in the wall. John Garrett up there as well, just trying to stay out of the way. Just Hemi getting into Derek Pratt. Derek Pratt can't see. What an end of a race here. Something you typically don't see here, but obviously the time playing a huge factor here late in the race.
Yeah, the time kind of cranking up the tensions here late in the race, and I'm sure we'll see maybe a quick jump to the restart here if possible. Again, we'll see what happens here as we go past the start-finish line, and looks like the pace car lights are still on, so we're still going to have at least another caution lap here. And I'm guessing maybe this is because of the all the cars that were involved in this, to give them some time to get back to the pits, to get some repairs, maybe get the fast repairer in there as well. But now it looks like we are going to go one to green. We are going to double them up and get them back out here, and not too many cars left out there that weren't damaged one way or another in this previous incident. And it looks like Mike Hasty going to choose the outside here on the restart. So your leader choosing the outside line. We got the 2 of Todd Merkel going to have the inside, and then you got the 9 of Mike Meyer going to be joining on the outside behind the 72. The 41 Dalton Kilroe there in 3rd place. So we'll see if this is another chunk of points that Dalton Kilroe can pick up on John Garrett, because Garrett is back there in 12th position currently as he's trying to catch back up to the field. We'll still have, it appears, 14 cars in the race yet. Dustin Franklin is still in the pits, and it looks like his night is going to be over. But this is green-white checker time, because we're down to 1 minute and 45 seconds left. So we should be able to get the green and the white and the checkered in still. But it is certainly going to be a shortened race here for them tonight. Less than 85 laps here out of the 100 scheduled, because that rain is the next town away at this point. It is about to hit, and you need to be really aggressive, I think, here to try and get to the front here at the end. Who's going to be our top 3? Who are we going to be talking to at the end of this thing? Certainly Mother Nature's about to do her talking, but the pace car lights are out. We're going to get the green flag this time by. It's going to be controlled by Mike Hasty on the outside. Only 3 cars on that outside line.
Yeah, pace car in, round down to Barney. We are now with 1 minute remaining as they will wind these cars up, and we could see this thing be checkered this time by. I don't know, Carl, how this thing works. It's been a long time since time's expired on a race. Will they, if they make it back before the time elapsed, will they get one more after that? Or is this it here as these drivers kind of make their way around? Mike Hasty's going to crawl up to the front there with Mike Meyer in P number 2, Todd Merkel's in 3rd. Dalton Kilroe sitting in 4th, and number 91 of Sean Wilder sitting in 5th. So everybody's kind of single file for the most part, trying to make things happen, trying to get around here, get these cars sped up. But I think the 2 looking to maybe pick up the 41 and get a good push here to possibly get a win there. And I think Kilroe just...
Here comes the rest of the field. And this is going to be tight, Jimmy. This could be the checker flag this time by. Coming back to the line, 4, 3, 2, 1. And I believe they just got to the line in time. So that is going to be the white flag, not the checkered flag, as we'll race it back here. 3 wide now.
Oh, no.
And we got some more incidents here. It's going to wipe out the field here again. It's going to be 2 cars. Now it looks like maybe 4 cars still in the mix here for this win. The 72 is going to get by. The 84 is going to get by. Will Mike Hasty join? We don't have a yellow, correct?
No yellow.
I just want to take a look here because, yeah, it should be the checker flag this time by. Okay, so we're good. But battling side by side now, Hasty looking to join Garrett and Kilroe with 2 wins on the season. Len McNeese trying to grab his first. Side by side for 3rd as well. They're bumping and banging, coming back to the line. But at the line, side drafting, it's going to be Mike Hasty by 1/100th of a second, getting which should be the win here, unless we're missing something. Yeah, there it is, race over. So Mike Hasty is going to get the win by 100th of a second. Second place going to go to Len McNeese. Michael Pratt in 3rd by 0.00 seconds. So we may need to see that finish there for 3rd place between Pratt and Yerger one more time, because that was epically close as well. And even looking at the iRacing finish here, it was 2 thousandths of a second separating Pratt and Yerger, 9 thousandths of a second separating Mike Hasty and Len McNeese. So I mean, we got some close finishes here at the end of Daytona. Maybe not at the 100 lap mark, but heck, 84 laps. That's enough racing for me, and it gave us a good finish at the end.
Yeah, and here's the finish here from. Oh no, I gotta go up here. There's Mike Hasty and Len McNeese. As they come around to the corner, I'll speed this up just a little bit as they're still in the corner. There's pit road coming down. You can see Mike Hasty just barely, like he had it, didn't have it, had it, didn't have it, just stayed down on that yellow line away from the 84, able to get enough momentum. And so there's that finish. And then we'll go back to Michael Pratt here with the 39 here. See if I can get a better angle. And we'll slow motion these two cars here for your third place finish. And you can see just barely nosing out the 39 for that third place finish. And then back there, John Garrett will come across in fifth. Tyler Hilton in sixth. And Sean Wilder looks like in seventh. EJ Luna in eighth. Cade Green finishes in ninth. Hemi Gardini, Todd Merkel, Eric Blunt, but Dalton Kilrow getting wrapped up in that last incident right there, Carl. Pretty much in like a second to third place finish, and ends up finishing all the way back in 13th. So it was one way between Garrett and Kilrow, but now it flip-flopped at the very last corner.
It was literally, I mean, the 41 was quite literally a half a second from finishing in third. And you may ask what I'm talking about, because he finished back there in 13th, plenty of seconds behind. If the time would have ran out about a half a second quicker, they would have been checkered flag. But unfortunately, they didn't. They got the white flag, went into turn one, and that's where the calamity happened. So, I mean, the time playing a big factor here tonight. So that was something we talked about pretty much from the beginning, and you see why. It really played a big part in the end of this race. But want to thank, again, our sponsors, Gold Lane Guardians, Fort Worth Screen Printing, Hilton Crafts and Designs, for everything that they do here for VVR, and shout out to Tim Lee out there as well, keeping this thing rolling here for the fall and getting ready for next season, 2026. Not too far from now, and looks like they may be kind of locking in with these Xfinity cars for the first season in 2026, and then possibly, depending on how everything goes, maybe switching to the trucks for the second season in 2026. But we still got some time for that. We still need to complete this season. We still need to get our 3 interviews here tonight as well. Before we do, want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here. Again, if you haven't done so yet, hit that thumbs up. Makes Jimmy happy to see all those thumbs up, and it helps the YouTube algorithm and get this video out there for plenty to enjoy and see. But let's get our top 3 in here. And Jimmy, third place here tonight is going to be the 77 of Michael Pratt.
Mike, Jimmy Carl in the booth. It's been a while, bro. I mean, it's been so long. It's like you
lost him. There we go. Got him again.
No, that's all right. No, I said Mike, Jimmy, Mike, the Jimmy Carl in the booth. But it's been a while, bro. It's like you start in the back of the pack all the time.
To me, it's fun, and it gives me more of a challenge.
Yeah,
I feel like I can control more of my race.
Yeah, we just, obviously sometimes, talk Carl, I was telling Carl, it's like, he's just back there, he's honing his racecraft, running and making passes and doing what he can. Maybe he knows he's not the fastest car on the track and enjoys just making the passes and trying to get as many positions as possible. But you survive here tonight. What point of the race did you guys realize that fuel really wasn't the issue? It was time.
Probably lap 40, 45 or so. We were already talking about the time issue.
Yeah, so
but that last caution kind of, I guess it worked out either way, but that last caution kind of screwed it up a little bit, I feel like. But
yeah, I mean, obviously, things happen on the track. You don't know when an incident's going to happen, but you're able to, like I said, survive here tonight and get the 77, up to the front here at a super speedway. It's always fun. You kind of go out there and it's a lot of just white knuckle. When should I pass? When should I move? How am I going to make my pit stop? Who am I going in with? Do I have team members? Do I have just people that I've been running with that I like to pit with? So, but you got
am I
up
going to
here.
screw myself out of a good finish? Or
Right? There's so many things that go through your head while you're out there.
I'm good at that. I'm my worst enemy.
But hey, man,
It's fun though. I have fun. I appreciate you guys in the booth. You guys make it fun. I appreciate Tim and everybody puts this thing together.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's just one of those things. But I want to say congratulations, man, and also officially give you some time for any shouts you might have at number 77.
Not really. I mean, shout out to you guys. Shout out to Tim, to Len McNeese, to Tyler Hilton. All the guys put this thing together. It's a lot of fun. I appreciate them letting me do this.
Well, again, we like talking to you up here. It's good to have the 77 back up in the booth one more time here. Hopefully we'll see you here again this season. If not, obviously anytime you come up here, it's a pleasure. So again, congratulations on your third place finish, and we'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Yes, sir.
That is your third place finisher here tonight, the 77 of Michael Pratt. Second place here tonight, only just by thousandths of a second, is going to be the 84 of Len McNeese. Len, you're kind of having a nice little bounce back season here in the 84. You come in fifth place in points and not too far behind the points leaders as well. So it's been a good season for you in the 84. Yet to crack through and get a win, and I'll be damned, that rain just came a little bit too early here for you tonight.
It did. I mean, it was, in the last lap, it was a free for all, and I think they all piled up, and somebody got in the door of me there on that last one, and I knew it was going to be close, and I wasn't going to door back or anything there on the end. I was like, we got a good clean run going. I was hoping to beat him, but he had the momentum there that prevailed.
Well, listen, I always talk about, trying to figure out where's the best place to be on the white flag lap and on these super speedways. And so many times, I say I don't want to be the leader because I feel like the leader is just waiting to be freight trained, waiting for everybody to tag up on them. Well, you were the leader coming to the tri-oval. And all of a sudden, that side draft was just too much for you right at the end, and I'm losing this thing by 9,000ths of a second. I mean, it's got to feel like a win. I mean, anytime you finish one of these super speedway races, let alone finish in the top three, it feels like a win. But it's got to feel almost like a heartbreaking win here tonight.
Yeah, because when we was coming up there, I knew it was going to be close, and I couldn't really see them from my monitor deal, and I was just like, this is going to be close, it's close, and when we come across the line, I seen his name pop up, his number popped up, and I said, dang, we just missed about a little bit.
Well, either way, another good finish for you, but I got to ask you, when you guys were coming back and basically taking the white flag here tonight, how much were you guys looking at the time coming back to the line that time? Because there was a good chance where that was the last lap of the race. I mean, the clock literally hit zero right about as you guys hit the line.
Yeah, I seen it. IRACING, they told us it was like 5 to go. They was going to give it, and then we got right down to it. I don't think we got the 5. I think we ended up in it through the white flag, and I was like, well, I'm hoping IRACING to stay with us long enough that we can finish it, and luckily enough, it did. So.
Well, listen, again, I know it's not the win, and I know it sucks sometimes getting a second, but a second here at Daytona is not a bad night. You survived here. Another good points night, and another chance to maybe move up the point standings as well with all your competitors that were ahead of you in the points other than Mike Hasty are finishing behind you. So we'll see where that 84 goes before these last three races. But congrats on a good finish here tonight. Just one spot short. We'll see if you finally crack through and get that win. But before we let you go here tonight, who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Definitely. First thing, we'll give a shout out there to Tim Lee for putting this league together and keeping all the backbone of it. He's the man with the plan on it all right there. And, definitely you guys up there putting on a great broadcast. Enjoy watching it the morning after, which I know how this is going to turn out tomorrow. So it might not be so good, but still, it was a good, y'all put on a good show, and just all the admins and everybody over here that puts on, the behind the scenes to help keep this thing up and going.
Well, here's what I'll recommend, Len. Watch the race, watch the whole thing through. But as soon as the clock hits zero, turn it off. So to remind yourself that you finished just out of the top spot here tonight. So clock hit 0. Just hit the escape button. Hit the Alt F4 on the YouTube. But
just hit the stop button. Yeah, that's it. It's part of it.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats again on the second. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
All right. Thank you, guys. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
That is your second place finish here tonight. The 84 of Len McNeese, but top spot here tonight. And now 3 drivers with 2 wins on the season. It's going to be the 72 of Mike Hasty.
Mike, Jimmy Carl up in the booth. You copy, buddy?
Yeah, I got you guys. How you doing?
Well, pretty good. Welcome back to the booth. An interesting race here tonight. We looked at obviously when this thing started, and I told Carl, I was like, man, they got some good qualifying times. They're going to take 45 minutes to get a couple laps around here tonight. And then obviously that got fast forward. And then noticed that the race clock looked to be a little bit short. So we started talking about it a little bit. And then we were kind of wondering when the drivers realized that this thing is going to run out of time before laps. So, I mean, you walk away the winner here tonight, but how much was that clock sitting in your mind here, especially at the end where you had like just that 1 lap more to go?
Well, so luckily Tim or somebody noticed and informed him. He said something about it under caution, and otherwise I didn't notice it at all. So that was with like 45 minutes maybe to go, with more laps than that. So we knew it wasn't going to happen, and then it's a matter of you just don't really know. It depends on how the cautions fall and stuff. So once we got to about 20 minutes to go, and then it got a little bit closer, and then we had to strategize for fuel, how much you take to not lose the pack, and those type of things. But it ended up working out with the cautions at the end. It didn't work out for me. Obviously, it didn't work out for everybody, but I was really close. We did some strategy, and I was really close on fuel, and I was trying to run mid pack so that I could gain a half a lap or so that I could run hard for the last few laps. And then with the cautions, it didn't matter. So it's good to go.
Well, you planned it out, the way it needed to be here tonight to get that 72 to victory. Whether the rain came and ended the race a little bit early tonight or not, the 72 walks away a winner by mere, like, 1,000th of a second over Len McNeese as you guys were side by side. Awesome pictures. You can go back and watch your replays, but it doesn't get any closer to that. You guys gave each other room, just drag race to the end out of turn or out of 4 and to finish this thing up. So just want to say congratulations, man, on getting it done here tonight, and give you some little time for any shots you may have at number 72.
I really appreciate it. I will say Len, class act. Every time I've ever raced with him, he's not that guy. I was a little worried he was just going to drive right around me, which of course he tried to do. And, it got close. We side drafted each other a little bit, but I don't even think we even touched. Super class act. I want to say congrats to him. And he could have won it just as easily. So this is always a crapshoot. I will say the 9 car helped me at the end. That was really nice. And I love that. And my other teammate guys had some troubles, but that happens. But I still want to shout out to them, Hemi, Eric Blunt. Both had a little troubles. I don't know how they finished, but good dudes. Glad to work with them. Glad to help them out. And that's pretty much it. You guys in the booth, I want to thank you guys too.
We really appreciate the shout outs, and obviously the shout outs to your teammates as well. So again, congratulations on your finish here tonight, and we'll look forward to seeing you possibly next week. We'll let you go celebrate with your friends and family.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be there next week. I'll see you.
Yes, sir.
You guys take care. Maybe I'll get up and get an interview again.
Yeah, we will look forward to it.
I love it.
Yes, sir.
You guys take care.
Later.
You too, buddy. That is your finisher in the top spot here again for a second time of the season. Again, joins the Dalton Kilroe and John Garrett. All 3 of them covering the first 6 races here, each with 2 wins on the season. Will anybody else grab a win here on the season? They are your top 3 in points, and I guess kind of showing why, as they are the ones to beat so far in the season. But we still got 3 more races left here in this season, so we'll see how this thing is going to eventually play out. As looking at the upcoming schedule for this Xfinity series, we got Kern Speedway or Kern Raceway coming up next week. That's going to be an interesting one. A little short track action, 140 laps out there in the West, and we'll see who can tackle the short track. And you want to talk about going from a big super speedway to a short track next week. That'll be interesting, and certainly a track that maybe the first time we've ever been to on CRN. Then we got Texas Motor Speedway on December 4th, and then the season finale with the Michigan International Speedway on December 11th. I want to thank everyone out there for tuning in here tonight for another great race here at the Virtual Velocity Race. No matter how long the race is, we certainly enjoyed it up here. But for myself and Jimmy from the Daytona International Speedway, we'll see you at the track.
Peace.